state-owned enterprises, and I welcome everyone to go and read it. If you had looked at it, you would know that it had focused on all the problems, the corruption issues, the slippages, the overstaffed nature. You may know that Gamcel and Gamtel accounts as of 2016, 73% of all employees in cellular and telecommunication are staff of Gamtel and Gamcel. Now tell me that's not
so if Africell said they are the biggest employer,
no, is it okay? Because a lot of things are said.
No, I'm just coming. I'm coming, and I am referring to documents you can read. Yes. Documents of government's own investigations. Now, Mr. Ja alluded to the fact that, you see, there was not a problem of, you can't say there was a problem when you come, you aggravate the problem. When you say there is a problem, when you come, you fix the problem. Now, I'll give you an example of Gamtel and Gamcel, right? That this is contained in a government document. They call it retrenchment plan for Gamcel and Gamtel. Now, the public sector, the debt portfolio, when Barrow comes, he increased it. He went in for construction projects that he knew would weigh very heavily on our economy, and then there would be a huge deficit that is going to have to be financed through loans. He knew that, but it's totally political and totally to favor contractors. Now, if you had looked at also Jane Commission, the Jane Commission was a fantastic work, and I invite everybody to go to the Justice Ministry's website and download all the 9 volumes. Never mind the money spent or the money recovered or anything. Look forward. Look at the policy recommendations they have made. Even contractors. Do you know the Jane Commission? I don't need to name companies here. There are vehicle companies that Jane Commission has said government must suspend buying from them for 9 months. And as early as 2017, Barrow continued to work with them. The same has happened in mining. You remember I did a story on the mining sector. And if you had looked at it, the Ghana Commission had recommended for government to stop all the mining, do a scientific environmental impact assessment in all over the combers, and look and rehabilitate the lands that are totally destroyed moving forward. Let's look at the Ghana Commission in the context of moving forward. Now go and read it and tell me that the government actually has any idea what they are doing. Now, the SOE audit is dumped. The Ghana Commission in terms of policy recommendations is dumped. If in fact they had recommended Ghana Commission, I would not have done this passport story, because those investors, those boys who call themselves investors, because they are boys, actually one of them is my age, who had gone to State House, would not even have gone, because this kind of processes would have been reformed. Now think about the security sector reform. These are some of the issues we had wanted to correct moving forward. Think about security sector reform. Security sector reform, actually, this you can refer to it. There was a survey, Afrobarometer survey. Incredible. Over 3/3 of this country are not even aware that there is something called security sector reform. All these press conferences they are holding is a facade. And that is why when Sankare talked about Umar Sajo, it was meant to disguise government's inefficiency. There was no security sector reform that identified Umar Sajo. It was not. That is why he couldn't provide us with anything. You see, and then so if you looked at it, and you look at all the evidences of activities that had happened, from Faraba Commission to the 3 years Jotna, and the state and the police and the security sector handling of it, and the conduct of the SIS, even until today, you will realize that all evidences are pointing to the fact that there is no security sector reform. I'm talking about concrete things. You've seen how they dealt with Faraba. Immediately when there was tension, that was when they deployed paramilitary forces, a reinforcement of Faraba.
Typical Jammeh style.
No one does that. When Americans took over the Capitol Hill, like the building.
Yeah.
When some gunmen and some took over, did they go and clamp down on them and flush them out with guns? No one does that. No one sent that kind of a reinforcement to a highly charged atmosphere like that. Now, of course, people who went in that place were armed, but you could see how they handled with it. They said 4 people died, including 1 security officer. In the Gambia, it would have been a bloodbath. You see what they did at the 3 years chapter. You only need to divorce yourself from it and look at it through an independent lens, and you see it. Now, the rising debt, I've talked about it, $10 billion is within this short period. Never mind the amount of money we spent. The highest allocation in the budget, Barrow allocates to the government 2 times almost the amount of money Gambia had ever allocated. Is that true? 25 billion, right? And in fact, they wanted 32 billion, right? Now, but think about that. Regardless of that, we're still experiencing an endless public sector corruption.
Rising commodity prices.
Yeah, I wouldn't even come to that because probably that is.
I think
and then
you make but this is
and
like
then also talk
minutes.
about no. But
you would have to give us the opportunity.
All along, you spent 20 minutes talking you and Jai. He has been silent throughout the program. Since he finished Mulligan.
Allow us
and if you have talked about
conversation.
All right.
That is
now
you have to let
us. We'll stop it.
You know, it's too much. Yes.
Mr. Gite.
Yes.
See, these small things he is itemized.
Yes.
These are the kind of things people believed should have been the successes. But instead, he's
okay.
Actually, this is what is developing.
Let's jump into. Let's jump into
them as failures.
Let's jump into.
Now listen, I'm coming. I'm summing up. He's counting these things as failures. You came and said Jammeh was the devil. Now you took more money than Jammeh within a short space of time.
Okay.
And they bought more cars than Jammeh.
You bought more vehicles than Jammeh.
Everything.
So you had
and they arrest more journalists than Jammeh.
Yeah, we are coming to that. You had more money, more goodwill than Jammeh ever had.
So
yet you said you are fundamentally
and his party bought more vehicles than Jammeh. I was going to come to that.
He said one particular thing. He said constructing roads are not necessarily development.
He said they are not development.
Anybody can do it.
Now that is
Okay, let's start from
number 1 misleading statement.